question. What was your top story of the weekend? Was it Duke going down in the most excruciating fashion ever in the history of the Elite Eight? Do you know they're the first team ever to blow a 15-point lead at the half? Teams leading at the half by 15 plus were 134-0. Now it's 134-1. Was it Aggie baseball sweeping Missouri, getting the job done? Revenge is a dish best served with cheese and beer. Or is it cold? I forget how the saying goes. What was your top sports story? I know for me, Saturday morning, A&M men's, Friday it really broke. I got the press release on Saturday morning, but A&M men's basketball head coach Bucky McMillan signed a contract extension that carries him through 2032. That was the official press release on Saturday morning. Zero details. Don't care. Done. Contract extension through 2032. What did he do? Guided the Aggies to their fifth straight 20-plus win season. Finished fourth when everyone said 13th. Earned an NCAA tournament berth for the fourth straight year, 18th time in A&M basketball history. Ranked in the top 15 in the country in scoring offense, assists, three-pointers made, bench points. And he did this in his first year. Hired when, 87, 92 of the top 100 in the portal were gone. Late in the process for a program that the only player he inherited was like a walk-on. He had to bring in 14 brand new from scratch players. His top two players started the year injured. His NBA future prospect player did not play this year effectively and did everything he did in year one. 11 conference victories, most since Shelby Metcalf went 13-1 in SWC play. That's back in 63-64. He became the fourth coach in A&M history to make the NCAA tournament in his first season. And I'm going to tell you, and I don't think I'm really going out on a limb, I bet you those other coaches probably inherited a lot more to work with than Bucky did. What do you think? First year set a single season school record for points, scoring average, three-pointers made, and 100-point games. That's what Bucky did. So I don't want to say like congrats. I mean, that was so earned. It's more like damn right than congrats. Don't have the details, but they'll come out. Contract extension carries through 2032. I'm going to assume that any deal he got done included, fat pool for assistants and NIL. That's what I'm going to, we'll see more details. But NIL funding and, assistant pools. I got a text message, and if I misstated this, I got to start off, 7 minutes into our time together, I'm already a moron. But John, class of 88, says, what's so nuts about unranked sweeping ranked? Did you mean to say unranked sweeping ranked? Because I was talking about the college baseball SEC weekend. And like every series was a sweep but one, and two of them featured unranked sweeping ranked. If I said unranked sweeping unranked, yeah, I said that incorrectly. It was two of the series featuring unranked sweeping ranked teams. So if I said it incorrectly, but good on you, John. You figured out what I tried to say. Thank you. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. So the top sports story for me, it was Bucky getting the extension easily. That was okay, got that done. Check. Now, Aggie baseball going to Missouri. Aggie baseball, we talked about how they had to get the sweep. No, had to get the series victory. We talked about that basically every day last week. Getting the sweep made it more delicious, added something extra. It gave me more than just, okay, they got the minimum done. Because the minimum was to win the series, right? I I don't know. It gave me a little extra spark from this past weekend. Okay? Because, again, the men was win the series. That was the men. Anything less than, and we could have started putting our hand, reaching out towards that red button. If you're new to the Louis Bellina Show, hi, hello, and welcome. The red button represents panic. If they'd have lost the series, yeah, we could have started moving our hand towards it. Winning the series was the men. Well, they swept. And they did it in what I have said, that they as a team can one-dimensionally bash their way to a super. The question is, do they have pitching? I don't know if we got that question answered. If anything, it furthers that question of, do they have pitching? Because Friday night start looked good, but even if he would have yanked Sadeo, it still wouldn't even have been a 5-inning start if he would have yanked him in time. Do they have pitching? You're starting to see some arms in the bullpen, at least this weekend. Grant Cunningham is starting to develop into the former closer he was. Vargas has not been as effective. Man, Fresh Corn has been just absolute insane money the past couple of times out. So I'm not willing to say no, but it's just reaching that point. Well, it's third series, but that's 30% of the schedule, right? Do they have pitching? Because I think it's easy to say they got the hitting to make a run, and they have the hitting. Like I said, I feel comfortable. Hey, what can you say? What's your thought? I think they can bash their way to a super and end up in Austin playing Texas in a super. That's actually how I see it playing out. But still, the sweep over Missouri, 14-3 run rule Sunday kind of finished it. Gavin Grahovac, and I need to keep track. If he's not the SEC Player of the Week, we need to destroy that award. He had 2 homers on Sunday, 7 RBIs. That's a good game. He had 2 homers and 5 RBIs on Saturday. That was a guy who you knew how good he was, and I don't know, maybe you didn't see as much boom as you had liked, but I don't think anyone ever questioned. And he just went off. Maybe it was the hand being stepped on, don't know, but that was scary. That's 4 homers, 12 RBIs in 2 games for Gavin Grahovac. He is your SEC Player of the Week, and I don't think there should be a conversation or a debate. But 14-3 was the run rule. Aiden Sims moved to 5-0, 5 1/3. Gave up 3 runs. Again, that quality start debate. Not a quality start, but still better than anything else they can get from the starters on the weekend. 14-6 was the Saturday game. And Gavin Grahovac, I said 2 homers in that game, but he wasn't the only one. Partita hits 2 shots in that one. It just absolutely was incredible. Home run derby. Home run derby in that one. And then the Friday game, game 1. I want to say only 8 hits, but they got 11 walks and were able to cash in for 11 runs. And if they were able to cash in walks against OU, they would have won that series. They did a much better job of making Missouri pay for the walk total than they did OU. And they sweep Missouri out on the road. And again, I'm just going to tie it into the most basic, simple concept of that shows you a little something extra. They didn't just do the men, which was win the series. And this is a new team. This is a new year. I want to see what they can do with momentum, because they could have took the OU series. I will say should have. Georgia, fair enough. Georgia beat them. Now they have a sweep under their belt. I want to see what they can do with momentum, because this should be their first momentum. Vanderbilt, when they make their way Thursday, Friday, Saturday, is a team that is going to be oozing momentum. If you don't know, Vandy swept Tennessee, and they were back-to-back walk-off games where they had a walk-off bunt and a walk-off grand slam. And Vanderbilt was a team that was kind of struggling their way to the start of SEC play. And to win a rivalry series in a sweep in the fashion they did, Vanderbilt is going to be fired up, spitting nails, punching puppies, and breaking whiskey bottles over their head. Coming to Bluebell Olson. I'm looking forward to this series. Don't know about you. So I'm fascinated to see what this year's team can look like now that they have some Mo, and they're going to be facing another team that has Mo. I don't know if you know this, but Mitch Light of The Athletic, who joins me every Monday at noon, today is Monday, big-time Vandy guy because he went there and he's a college baseball guy. So it will be really good to get an in-depth look at Vanderbilt somewhere between noon and noon 30. Mitch will join me at noon. We'll do the college baseball roundup, but he will definitely be able to give us a high-quality, like I said, insight into Vanderbilt. I look forward to that greatly. He'll join us on the D4 Land Services hotline at 12 noon. But Aggie baseball, offense goes medieval. Gavin Grahovic is your SEC. Not official. I'm not calling it. I'm trying to keep my eye open, but Gavin Grahovic is easily your SEC player of the week. They got the job done and more. And a little revenge. I heard Michael Early with Brawny on Texags Live earlier. And Coach Early didn't want to lean into that at all. That was not a part of the story. It was taking care of business. It was not revenge or any of that stuff. But I don't know. Early pointed out how few players in this year actually were part of last year's team, but there's got to be some part of you. Because Missouri was a low point. I don't know how you could forget. I mean, the memory can't be that short. Missouri's painful. I don't know if this exercises demons, but like I said, for me, build momentum. And again, we're trying to define what is this A&M team this year. And maybe they're not a top 10 team, but are they top 25? Are they top 20, top 15? This is a step forward towards learning that. And then they have Vanderbilt. It'll be interesting to see where they're going to end up. Are they going to be top 25 now? And where will they move into the rankings? Let's grab a quick timeout. The conversation is just beginning. Don't forget, if you got something to say, text me. 979-693-1150. We are just beginning. This is the Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, Monday on The Zone.
Sign up for the Zone newsletter and be in the know about community events, contests, prizes, the guest lineup that day, and more.
I love it.
Sign up at zone1150.com.
The Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Residential, Commercial, and Industrial Services. It's what they do at CC Electric. We're just getting started on a Monday. Got to listen in. TJ Searcy, Mario Craver, 11:35. High School Sports Update, 11:55. Mitch Light of The Athletic, College Baseball Roundup, and more, 12 o'clock. And then at 1:35, a listen in Mario Cristobal. That'll be at 1:35 because during spring, we listen into everything Aggie football, but we love all college football. So we'll be listening to a lot of the college football coaches, previews of other teams, the national championship contender types. It's what we do here on the Louis Bellina Show. A correction. That Vanderbilt-Tennessee series, Vanderbilt won all three games on a walk-off. I remember it was back-to-back Saturday, Sunday. Friday was too. That was a 2-out single in the bottom of the 10th. 2-out, just RBI single. And that was the boring one. Think about it. Bottom of the 10th, 2-out RBI single. That was boring because it was a walk-off bunt on Saturday and a grand slam on Sunday. Insane. And there were 7 sweeps in the SEC. 2 featured unranked, sweeping ranked. Now, Florida, unranked because they got off to a rough non-con, but they started the year as a kind of a top 10 team, to be honest with you. But tough non-con, maybe they figured it out. They're not your usual unranked. And again, more at Mitch Light joins me at 12 o'clock. College baseball SEC baseball, Aggie baseball. Awesome opening weekend. Aggie softball was at number 1 in the country. TU, some call them Texas, the Longhorns, we call them TU. They've managed to avoid the sweep. They won the Sunday game 9-7. They could have won all 3. And that's not, the Aggie wishful thinking. That's not me doing creative accounting. They lost 3-2 on Saturday. And they had 4 different running miscues. Had 4 different runners thrown out on the base pass. 2 caught stealing. 1 was picked off at third, and another got thrown out attempting to stretch a single. You got to be careful when you're talking about running miscues, right? The runner thrown out attempting to stretch a single has to try and stretch it every time. When the other player, the other team, makes a brilliant play, is it a miscue by your player? The other team made a perfect play. The runner picked off at third was awful. That was inexcusable. And of the caught stealing, you want that player to go, but man, you don't want them caught stealing. That's an All-American catcher they have, by the way, at Texas. And the other one in my head, if I remember right, bad read by the runner. So of the 4 miscues, 2 are not miscues to me, and 2 were. That's still too many. And it's funny. You've got 11-9 in game 1. This is the softball. You got 11-9 in game 1, and that was the Longhorn win. Yeah. Hold on. I'm getting myself confused. You have in the Longhorn series, you got 9-7 A&M win in game 3. And then it was 9-8, bottom of the 7th, walk-off for Texas. How do you get a 3-2 game in the mid? Fascinates me. How do you end up with that mid 3-2? It's just circle what does not belong in that series, and that's what you end up with, right? You get a 3-2 classic. A&M out-hit Texas in the 2 games they lost. But sometimes it's not about how many, it's about when, right? Pretty straightforward concept. So that's why I come to you with they won Sunday to avoid a sweep. They could have won the series. I think there was a coaching mistake by pushing, just because your pitcher makes it 2 times through the lineup and it's obvious the other team is catching on, doesn't mean you should push your luck and go, well, she hasn't given up a run yet, and then leave her in 2 batters too long. A&M has a pitching staff. I don't think they've developed a single pitcher this year for softball. And it's challenging when you don't have that one pitcher. And I think that's one of the problems. They signed an All-American closer who did not throw a single pitch against Texas. It is really, really tricky for this A&M pitching staff. I wonder how different it would be. They'd win the series if they had the All-American closer. But if you're trying to measure where they're at, they played the number 1 team on the road, only took 1 and then played 2 one-run games from there, out-hit them both games. Pitching. And it goes back to the non-con where they were 1-7, but yet could have won almost every one of those games, I think, except for one. Except for like one. So they're close. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to make my first way too bold, fearless prediction for 2026. A&M baseball and softball will face Texas in a super regional. A&M baseball and softball are going to face Texas in a super regional. There's no way the NCAA softball committee will not pair these two every time they play. I said it right. It's a war. It's a classic. The A&M softball versus Texas softball is about as good as it gets in the entire country right now. They will pair them. I believe A&M will be hosting a regional. They got a lot of wins built in. Their SEC schedule's played out really well. All they have to do is avoid being swept by Texas and OU, and they already did that with Texas. And they got to do the same with OU, and they're going to win enough on the rest that they're going to host a regional. And they'll be paired with Texas in the Super. And I believe that A&M baseball, they're going to end up funneling to Texas in a Super too. Committee has too much fun with these kind of things. So, and A&M softball and baseball are, I don't know, in a weird way, I feel like they're mirror images of each other. They've got the offenses that will bash their way to a Super. But where's the pitching? So, just saying, it's absolutely fascinating to watch. And then A&M and Texas and softball play, pure gold, pure cinema, pure drama. Look at the weekend series here. Crowds are intense, psycho, insane. Makes for good TV. Makes for good ball. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Again, could have won all three. Just didn't have the pitching for it. And then Saturday, the miscue thing was, again, they say 4. 2, I would say, were not. Sure, 4 runners got thrown out on the base paths, but 2 of them were great plays. You don't blame the decision. 2, maybe so much. Maybe not so much. Weekend ahead, no midweek for Aggie softball. The Easter series, which means Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Georgia, Davis Diamond. Georgia, Davis Diamond. A couple of text messages. I want to go to the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. David in Franklin. Hi, Louie. What's up, man? As a coach of team, why wouldn't you want to play in revenge mode or with a chip on your shoulder? I think teams and coaches should do everything in their power that fuels them to play their best, right? I think my theory answer to that. Coaches want players to play in control. You never want to, I've heard every coach, like every sport ever go, you don't want to play too high. You don't want to play too low. You don't want to play too high. You don't want to play too low. That's every coach. Because if you play too high, you're overexcited. You don't play to your norm. If you play too low, I think it's obvious too low, right? So they always want them to play how they practice, play what their norm is, right? Dead serious on this. That's why they don't want them playing emotionally. Emotion is out of their norm. Anything outside of what's normal is bad. Now, this next text message is awesome. I was at the Troubadour Saturday, driving back with Audrey Rose, who used to be Candy 95, Ryan Starr, middays at Candy 95, my Uber driver, because we all shared an Uber back, he's listening to the NCAA tournament from Westwood One, and that means he was listening to The Zone. He had 93.7 FM on. And as we're driving back, we're all talking, and this guy knows his basketball. He's really cool, my Uber driver. And he goes, wait a minute. Are you on the radio? And folks, believe it or not, a lot of people think I'm a complete A and other stuff, but I'm not Mr. Ego on that. And I went, yeah. I'm on middays and stuff. It's like, oh, I thought that was you. And we started talking about comedians, all kinds of stuff. And he texted me back, and here's what he said. Lou, this is your Uber driver from the weekend. Dennis Miller was the comedian I was referencing. Thank you for texting back. We had a great time. Our Uber driver was phenomenal. He was fantastic. Again, he's listening to The Zone. He's listening to the NCAA tournament. Guy knew what he's talking about. That was pretty fantastic. So thank you for texting back. And it was a conversation we were having about comedians. And so that I'm happy, because it's one of those things that you hope that when you're not thinking about it, you'll actually pop up in your head. So thank you, Mr. Uber driver. Appreciate you texting back. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. How many people went to the Troubadour? If I could throw that out there. Oh! I was sitting down eating barbecue like you do at a barbecue festival, and I had the privilege of meeting a long-time listener. It was pretty awesome. He's eating some barbecue, and he's like, hey, and I was like, hey, and he was there with his wife, and it was a good time. Troubadour is pretty awesome. Music was fantastic. Anybody make it to the Troubadour and you want to drop me a quick review of your time there, you can text me too. I'll be right back. It is the Louis Bellina Show, Monday, presented by CC Electric. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio here on The Zone.
This is Bryan College Station's home for Texags, Louie, and Jim. The Zone. 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
The Louis Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. It's where you find me hanging out basically Monday through Friday. Charles Schwab, low cost, full service, best of all local. That's Schwab. Best of all local, that's Mark Sim right here in College Station. Find him online at schwab.com/College Station. Charles Schwab and Company Incorporated, member SIPC. Time now, continue on Maroon and White. It always is. First hour, we go inside the Maroon and White notebook. And Aggie football, I think, qualifies in the Maroon and White notebook. And we do spring football in their words, the players and the coaches. And here is TJ Searcy, met with the media.
TJ, what do you feel like last year did for you and just kind of how you're feeling about your game going into this offseason?
Yeah, last year definitely helped me a lot with as far as experience-wise. You know, I never made it to the playoffs before. I actually never even played in a bowl game, so being able to play past the regular season last year helped me with my experience for sure.
You know, Hemphill talked about Mike Elko being a storm, so to speak, for transfer portals, just people coming in and trying to learn his way. You did it last year. How would you describe getting into a Mike Elko system and what that looks like?
Yeah, I'd say they definitely make it easy for you. They make it an easy transition for you over here. With all the staff members, they make it as easy as it could be, for sure.
What goals have you kind of set for yourself now that you've gotten a lot of experience and now you're kind of a veteran?
Yeah, I just want to play the best ball that I can play this year, really, and help my team win.
Is there anything in particular you're kind of focusing on?
Yeah, I'm focusing on my get-off, my pass rush. That's one area I really want to improve on.
Lyle mentioned kind of your consistency. That's why you're one of the guys who speaks a lot during the meetings. What does it mean to you to have that role, having to say that, and where does that kind of consistency come from?
It means a lot just to hear that from Coach, to know that he knows that I care about the team and I care to be the same man every day. I feel like my consistency just comes from my upbringing, and just seeing my mom work hard every day for me. So, yeah, for sure.
What was that upbringing like, and just kind of what did your mom do growing up?
Yeah, I mean, my mom done did everything for me under the sun. I mean, I got 4 brothers, so my mom got 5 boys. So it wasn't too much she didn't do for us. I mean, with working 2 jobs, she'll do whatever she had to do, make sure we ate, for sure.
I know y'all have to replace a lot of captains. Is that something that you could see yourself trying to fit into and being a leader in that capacity with this team?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to help lead the team to be the best team we could possibly be.
You talk about leading. What is a Mike Elko defense and maybe a coach team? How would you describe it to somebody who wouldn't understand?
I would say we get off the ball, we play fast, and we play physical, and we're aggressive. I mean, I feel like that's the perfect explanation.
Quite a few new faces on this defensive line. Just what have you seen, especially from some of these transfer kids that have come in, and just kind of how they're fitting in so far?
Yeah, I like a lot of these transfers we got in a lot. I didn't expect them to be this nice. It's a lot of them that's really surprising me, for sure.
As an end, just what have you seen from Anto in particular, and just what you feel like his skill set brings to the table?
Yeah, Anto, he extremely smart. That's one thing I can see from Anto right away. I think having Anto is just going to be great, just as far as IQ-wise, and then that's not even talking about his ability on the field.
Going against this offense, does it feel like they're maybe moving with a little bit more tempo this year?
You said, I'm sorry, repeat it?
Going against this offense, does it feel like the offense is moving with a little bit more tempo this year, maybe than last year?
Yeah, sure. I can say that for sure. I feel like we definitely moving faster today at practice and stuff.
It's been like working with Elijah Robinson and just what he's bringing to this room.
Yeah, I like Coach E-Rob a lot. He really brings, like, I like his mentality that he brings to the room. It's kind of just makes you want to go harder and really not take nothing from anybody.
Is there what kind of mentality is he preaching? Is there like a tagline or a message that he likes to tell you guys often?
Yeah, pretty much it's just play with violence. Like, we violent. We're defensive linemen, so we have to be violent. And then we just try to create better opportunities for everybody on the line. You know what I'm saying? All of us just, whenever one player do good, the other player shine. So, feel me?
All right.
For sure. Appreciate
That
y'all.
was TJ Searcy, a listen in, but if you got to do defense, I think you got to do offense. And, hey, who better than Mario Craver?
Mario, what did you feel like last season did for you and just kind of where you felt like you grew the most in your game through that season?
Last season, it just really put a staple in my confidence, honestly. Like, just really showed me who I am. Like, just showed me I'm the ball player I am, the value I can bring to this program, and just me just being a great team guy for this team. And you feel me? Like, yeah.
What differences have you noticed so far with Coach Wiggins now at the helm of the offense?
Wig, he's a receiver mind. Like, so, like, just him being the OC, him just being able to get the receivers, us, the ball in our hands, get us in space. He know what we want. He's a receiver mind. He's gonna put the ball in the air, and just him just being able to relate to us because he coached us last year, and like he know us more than anybody. So, like, yeah, I just think him being the OC is just a great job.
I think y'all seen
Great opportunity.
a little bit more this year than last year.
Yeah, most definitely.
What do you think about kind of the height and all that with the receiver and quickly Isaiah Gordon, and what that would do, just kind of the complementary skill set?
Oh yeah, it just give us the ability to spread everything out even more. You feel me? Just go spread the ball vertically. Just have Zay out there, that X one-on-one guy. Like, anytime anybody want to bracket me on the inside or anything, we got Ash on the outside, Terry on the outside, and also Zay is just a great combination of us four.
It seems like Aaron Gregory's made a lot of plays. What does he kind of show?
Oh yeah, AG, he's a very advanced young guy. Like, I say, a lot of young guys don't come in as polished as him. Like, he's a great route runner and got great hands, and he's gonna be a guy. My bad.
It's early in the spring, but have you seen anything different from Marcel? What have you seen from your QB?
Oh yeah, this first day us coming out there, we hitting the routes that we're hitting mid-season. Like, we're just him just being able to see the defense quicker, him hitting me quicker in my routes. Like, him just being able to see things before it happen, just being able to read the defense better. This is definitely something that he stepped up in.
Now, is that part of him being, now a veteran in the system, or is it more like, hey, like this is just a veteran or a system that's more friendly for QBs?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Just Coach just running plays, tell it to him, tell it to his skill set, and also him being a veteran, just him being in the SEC for his third year, and him being able to read coverages, and yeah, like, it's just all coming together now for him.
What are the biggest things you yourself want to improve on individually this offseason?
My biggest thing I want to improve on is just becoming a leader, becoming more detailed in my routes, and just bringing all the other guys with me, and just being able to stay healthy throughout the season, just build more body armor so I stay healthy, and yeah, that's it.
You guys talk about watching film of other players. Do you watch film of other guys, and if so, who might those guys be?
Oh yeah, definitely. All the receivers, we always get together and watch film. Just being able to just detail our routes more. Just us coaching each other, like me giving them tips, them giving me tips. Just me, us, and Sale. Just us being able to see the same thing on defense, see the same coverages. That just helped us out a lot.
What is your process to address the things you were just talking about? Running better routes, how much bigger do you want to get when you say putting on your body armor and things like that?
Oh yeah, I just want to be durable. However big that is, I just want to be durable, be able to take hits. In the SEC, you're going to take a lot of hits, and just me just being out, coming out here every day, just focus on the small things, focus on my details. I'm already they say I'm a good route runner, so I just like to detail that more. Just ask my coaches where can I improve in. Just being able to trying to get a little better at something every day, and just complete my game.
Are you doing some things away from just the basic practice out there?
Coach Echo also told us today that he don't want us getting extra work. So yeah, he told us as long as you're going hard on the field, you're doing what you got to do on the field, you won't need no extra work. So I've been trying to lay off the extra work and just go 100% out on the field.
Speaking of Coach Elko, Hemphill talked about it as a storm for transfer portals coming into his system. As somebody who came in, how would you describe that change from being where you were to where you are now, and what's it been like for you?
Really, it's been easy for me, for real. Like, they welcomed me here, like, very easy. Like, Coach Elko, when I first got here, he told me, like, people don't know, I had a couple like character issues. If you don't know, he kind of took me in, kind of took a chance on me. He told me, like, this is a family, this is a culture. Like, you're gonna change here. You're gonna become a guy. You're gonna become who you want to be here, and that's ultimately what happened. And it just turned out well.
And so, as nice a guy as he is off the field, on the field, does he kind of flip a switch and have a little harder demeanor?
Oh, definitely. Like, on the field, Elko's a completely different guy than he is off the field.
How would you describe Isaiah's personality and just kind of maybe how that's fit into the...
Oh, yeah. Zay, he's a Bama guy. Him being from Bama, he got a little bit of dog in him. And, you know, like, Zay, he's a competitor. I've seen that already. He's a competitor. Anytime somebody challenges him, he gonna step up to the challenge. And it's just going to be good for this room, just having a lot of competition in here. Just like Casey last year, he was a competitive guy, so I think it'll be good for this room.
What have you seen in just kind of maybe the pre-existing friendship relationship he had with Marcel, just going back to their time in Nashville and how that played out?
I said, yeah, them having that little connection is going to be good. Also, like, just them already getting to know each other. Like, it's always great to have a good head start on that. So, yeah.
You talked about wanting to be a leader, but in your opinion, what does leadership from Mario Craver look like?
Just going out there doing what it's asking me to get my job done and at the best of my ability, me going hard every time. Like, those young guys see the results that come out and what I do, so like they're gonna do it exactly what I do to get the same results. So that's exactly how you lead.
How long have you had the NFL Shield tattoo?
I actually just got this last offseason.
Okay.
With this offseason, actually.
Just to remind you that that's a go.
Yeah, definitely.
So 13 all SEC this past season. Any goals you have kind of for this season?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was a little bit hurt about that, but you know, that's something I gotta change.
You had some crazy plays last season. Which one stuck out the most? The ones that you made?
Oh, definitely Notre Dame. That's probably my most exciting play. But other than that, probably maybe Florida game, that first deep ball. Yeah.
What did you learn last year when the defense kind of adjust and start doing more bracket coverage with you? Is there anything you learned from that of how to beat those kind of coverages?
I just learned, change the pace of my routes. Like, I can't run every route at the same pace. And a lot of times, defense, they see you at the same pace that you've been before. They're going to know what's coming. Like, a lot of times it's just disguising things that look the same, make them look different, and just being able to just tailor my routes that look the same, make them look different, honestly.
All right.
That was Mario Craver, and before that it was TJ Searcy. That's our Aggie football, spring football listening here on the Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. When we return, high school sports update, and we got to wrap up our first hour together. This is the Louis Bellina Show, Monday on the Zone.
Be in the know about the Louis Bellina Show.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
Follow at Louis B1150. That's at Louis B1150.
Follow us on Twitter.
The Louis Bellina Show, first hour almost, but not quite, but almost done. The Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. They have free estimates. They have military and veteran discounts. That is CC Electric. Mitch Light of The Athletic. 8 minutes. He'll join me on the D4 Land Services Hotline college baseball roundup. And it was an insane weekend in the SEC. Look forward to hanging out with Mitch. 12:35. Aggie football. I'm always down with that. Come on now. 1 o'clock hour will be the rest of the world of sports. And listen in. Mario Cristobal, University of Miami head football coach. That's all still to come. And I wanted to enter the lifestyles portion of the Louis Bellina Show. Troubadour was Saturday, barbecue and music festival event experience. That is the correct word, experience. And if you went and you want to share, text me. That'd be cool. I thought it was incredible. Man, the music they had before they even started like the music festival part, but just the music that was playing during the barbecue part was rocking. Great music. And, of course, the barbecue. And I saw this. Where was it from? Was it the internet? Was it some website? But 7 reasons why Gen X had the greatest music experience. And I didn't know this, but I'm Gen X. Holy cow. I did not know that. And I have said many a time that for me, music, as much as sports, anything, huge part of my life. I went to every rock concert that came through Houston for about 5, 6, 7 years. It's where I started in radio. I was like a music reporter at one point. Best friend was a music director. We had tickets, backstage passes, meet and greet. Met Elvis Costello, REM, Bob Seger, ZZ Top. I mean, it's just a part of what I did. Concerts. I'm scared to think of how many concerts I've been to. I'm not scared like, ooh, Dracula scared. No, I'm just kind of like, man, I've been to a lot of shows. And 7 reasons why Gen X had the greatest. I didn't create the list. This isn't me being biased. 1, the personalities were huge. We had David Lee Roth, Billy Idol, Dee Snider, Motley Crue leaping off of album covers into our living room, and then, quote, thanks to MTV and a few other musical themed shows, they were more alive. Number 2, music videos actually mattered because MTV played them. And this article, this thing I read said that, kids today have no idea what that even means, right? And, they have no idea the cultural impact of MTV in its first 15 to 20 years. Now, this one is interesting, and it's like the continuation of guitar culture. Because if you go to the 70s, and this is before, Clapton, Beck, Iommi, Van Halen, right? But then, if we go to the Gen X, Stevie Ray, Steve Vai, Slash, Joe Satriani, and I'm going to throw this in there, Prince. Number 5, iconic moments, and think about this. We did have Live Aid, we did have Farm Aid, and things like that. And a couple of others, the fandom, they said we didn't have toxicity. Everything has toxicity. Here's the one they put out there that I agree with, because this is where I came from. Concert culture. Concert culture. Because we didn't have out cell phones. Everybody was in the moment. The stage production was insane. If you ever saw Def Leppard in the round, Tommy Lee's drum roller coasters, Dio had big dragons and cobras. Concert culture, and you could afford to go to many of them, unlike today. Yeah, the concert culture was a thing then too for Gen X. So just something, being the music person I am, I saw that, brought a smile to my face. I miss going to 4 or 5 concerts a year, where now it's kind of like 1, maybe 2, and it's price. But yeah, we did have it good. About to tear up. I'm about to get on the porch and start yelling at kids just for fun. But I do miss the concerts, that's for sure. We'll be right back. It is the Louis Bellina Show on the Zone.